फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to Cricket Next. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and it's another disappointing day for the Indian cricket fans as Team India has lost the first test by an innings and 32 runs against South Africa at Centurion. We'll talk more about India's batting, probably dismal batting and bowling as well. I have with me K. Srinivas Rao, Sahil Malhotra and Chetan Narula. Welcome to Cricket Next, everyone. Shrini, I'll start with you. You know, Jamie predicted something earlier in the day that ये जो टेस्ट मैच है आज खत्म हो सकता है, and that has happened. I mean, what kind of a batting was that? I'm, I'm not even surprised. It's weird. Srini, yeah.
Well, I mean, I was just checking Twitter, sorry, to see if the dogfight has begun. You know, at least रोहित ने 76 बनाया, विराट ने 76 तो बनाया, रोहित ने क्या किया? You know, at least केएल का स्ट्राइक रेट 100 का था, फर्स्ट 100 नहीं, केएल का फर्स्ट 100 रन्स का स्ट्राइक रेट वाज बेटर देन डीन एल्गर. एटलीस्ट ये हुआ, हमने ये तो किया, तुमने क्या किया? You know, हम इसी में रह जाएंगे. This is what we let me be very honest with what I'm not so worried, or I'm not so, what is scaring me right now is not looking at what has happened, folding up like this. No, what is scaring me is the path ahead from here. Where are we are just about beginning, and the scary bit is that nothing in this lineup is suggesting that we are anywhere even on the right track. I don't mind a team losing, but I'm not going to blame Yashasvi Jaiswal here. Forget whether he played the right shot or a wrong shot. Of course, I must say that I'm disappointed with Shubman. I mean, I was looked like a gladiator is trying to walk out and put a show out there. I wasn't really happy with whatever he tried doing. But that said, a defeat is not it's nothing wrong. Like, you have a Kagiso Rabada on the screen now. What bowling? I mean, exceptional bowling from the man. You got to respect the conditions. You got to respect who you were up against, in their backyard. Point is, this team is going to continue for the next 2 to 3 years. And where exactly which bag have they put their red ball mentality in? That is what, Rohit is not getting younger. This might be his swan song. I don't know how long is he going to play. Maybe he'll pull to 2024. Uske baad kya? Maybe Virat is the only guy. That's it. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know outside of these two, what kind of a test arsenal are we looking at? So there are too many questions in my mind. I mean, as the show goes forward, we'll keep talking about it.
Yeah. Sahil, what is your take on this? Yes, Srini rightly mentioned, हारती है team. इस एक हारेगी, but in this manner where you were, all at sea, you had no idea what was going on. I mean, it's ridiculous batting.
No, this is outright embarrassing, listless performance, hapless show. Matlab, we were all at sea. There were no thoughts in the middle. Matlab, the way bowlers were being rotated, ऐसा लग रहा था लीग का मैच चल रहा है यार. मतलब आपको दिख रहा है शार्दुल और प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा are leaking runs close to 5 and over. You are bowling them together in tandem. Ashwin and Bumrah were your most economical bowler. How many spells did they bowl together? ठीक है यार, कंडीशंस आप कहोगे ग्रीन टॉप था, मीडियम पेसर्स को ट्राई करो, बट देयर वाज अ पीरियड इन प्ले वेयर यू नीडेड सम सॉर्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल. That control you allowed to drift away when you allowed that partnership between Marco Jansen and Dean Elgar. That was game set and match there and then. कल ही कर दिया था एल्गर ने तो, बट आज तो गेम उसने आपके रीच से इतना बाहर कर दिया. आई वाज लिसनिंग टू सुनील गावस्कर हिंदी कमेंट्री के अंदर, एंड ही वेरी एप्टली यूज्ड दैट वर्ड दैट दैट्स अ वेरी स्टबर्न मेंटालिटी बाय रोहित शर्मा एंड द टीम मैनेजमेंट, दैट दे आर जस्ट नॉट trying things. There were no experiments with length, angles. How many times did our bowlers actually change angles? Just look at how the left arm seamers operated today for South Africa. They changed the angles, made things happen. They had much better control than we probably had throughout the test match, but there was no intention to even try things. And I've been repeatedly saying, boss, मतलब जो घर पे रैंक टर्नर्स के ऊपर होता है उससे रोहित का कैप्टनसी जज मत करना, जब बाहर जाएगा आपको दिख जाएगा। अभी सब कहेंगे कि एक ही मैच हुआ है, लेट्स नॉट बी हार्श ऑन हिम, बट वो एक इनिंग दैट वाज इनफ फॉर मी टू काइंड ऑफ गेट अ सेंस इनटू हिज हेड एंड हाउ ही इज ऑपरेटिंग हिज बॉलर्स एंड हाउ, मतलब वो कुछ, ही वाज नॉट लुकिंग टू मेक थिंग्स हैपन. That period of play where you just allowed someone like a Marco Jansen and Dean Algar to just completely dominate your bowling, and Shardul Thakur and Prasidh Krishna were leaking runs for fun. Juicy half volleys, full tosses. Matlab, is this Test cricket for real? Are we kidding? Are we saying that we don't have enough depth in our bowling? That we tried someone like a Prasidh Krishna, took him to the squad. You had a Avesh Khan, Navdeep Saini, who were your go-to bowlers for so many years. Navdeep Saini has been our designated net bowler for the last 4 years now. What has happened to him all of a sudden? उसके इंजरी निगल्स जब थे, बट अभी जब वो अवेलेबल है, why is he not in the squad? Why is a Mukesh Kumar there, or why is a Prasidh Krishna there when both of them haven't even played so much first class cricket in the past? Whereas there are people like Avesh Khan who took a 4-wicket haul against South Africa A today. He's sitting with the India A side forever now. Why are you not even thinking? मतलब वो विराट कोहली और रवि शास्त्री वाला पीरियड था where we were like spoiled for choices when it came to fast bowlers. All of a sudden we are again dependent on someone like Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, and we are still missing Mohammad Shami in 2023. So we are not moving forward at all. And इसी टेस्ट साइकिल के अंदर आपको आपके सारे पत्ते खुलते दिखेंगे, कप्तानी के भी पत्ते खुलते दिखेंगे, बैटिंग के भी पत्ते खुलते दिखेंगे, क्योंकि आप ओवरसीज खेलने वाले हो. ऑस्ट्रेलिया आपको फ्लैट ट्रैक भी देगा ना, फ्लैट ट्रैक के ऊपर भी डांस कराना जानते हैं वो लोग, और हमें तो दिख गया लाइवली ट्रैक के ऊपर हमारी बैटिंग क्या ही कर रही है. सो आई एम लाइक वेरी एम्बैरेस्ड विद दिस डिफीट. एंड again, that bowling performance, batting to again Jamie ka words mein repeat karunga, I think batting has been our biggest problem whenever we have gone to South Africa. But this time I think जो 400 रन हम खा गए ना, वहां पे लगा कि बॉस ये तो कुछ दिमाग में ही नहीं चल रहा है. तो ऐसा लग रहा है बस आया राम गया राम वाला चल रहा है. प्रसिद्ध डाल रहा है, शार्दुल डाल रहा है. अच्छा, अब हमें नया बॉल लेना है तो सिराज और बुमराह को फ्रेश रखना है, तो आ जाओ प्रसिद्ध शार्दुल, आप 50 रन और खा जाओ. तो ऐसा थोड़ी होता है बॉस. मतलब इतना तो बाहर बैठे बालकों को भी समझ आ रहा है. At least get some control when you're not getting wickets. So there wasn't that period where we were even trying to get some sort of control, and that is where the game was like game set match for me.
Yeah, चेतन भाई ठीक है, बॉलिंग की मैं थोड़ी बाद में बात करूंगा, बट बैटिंग आपके पास ठीक है, यू वर ट्रेलिंग, एक मैसिव डिफरेंस आ गया था साउथ अफ्रीका ने जो फर्स्ट इनिंग्स लीड ली, लेकिन तीसरा दिन था यार आज, थोड़ा तो रुक सकते थे. आई मीन दैट वाज हॉरिबल शॉट सिलेक्शन. बैटिंग की बात करनी पड़ेगी, ठीक है, यशस्वी को स्टिल वी कैन गिव इट ओके, और वो बॉल अच्छा था, वो ही वाज लीविंग और लीव करते हुए थोड़ा क्लिप हो गया. बट शुभमन, रोहित, आई मीन श्रेयस, केएल, व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? अश्विन ने क्या किया उस बॉल पे?
I mean, Ashwin played a bad shot, but I'm not going to blame this defeat on Ashwin's bad shot.
No, I'm not saying him. I'm just talking about the batting order.
Yeah, no, that was. I mean, कितना टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेला है यार वो, कितना ऑफ लेट कितना क्रिकेट खेला है वो. So that happens. I mean, that's sometimes you just see a ball on the channel, you just hang out your bat, it flew off his edge. But Ashwin की shot से पहले ही गेम खत्म हो चुका था ना. You have to look at. I think the only dismissal throughout the innings was Rohit Sharma, which was a proper dismissal, bowling him through the gate. That brilliant bowling. Kagiso Rabada produced two special deliveries in this test match. The first one to nick off Virat Kohli in the first innings, who was set scoring runs, and this delivery he set him up very, very beautifully. He knows Rohit struggles against him. He knows Rohit can't play attacking cricket because of the match situation. So he just set him up so beautifully, and it was just brilliant to watch. But आप बाकी देख लो, Jaiswal, yes, his first test in South Africa, he's playing on the up, he doesn't need to do that. Shubman Gill, the less said about him, the better. मैंने टी सेशन में आप ही थे शायद, मैंने आपके साथ बताया कि where is the problem, he's just for a number 3, he's playing too many shots. यार एक बैलेंस बनाना पड़ेगा ना. आपको पुजारा की तरह नहीं खेलना है, आपको पॉन्टिंग की तरह खेलना है, तो पॉन्टिंग की तरह खेलने के लिए भी तो आपको टिकना पड़ेगा ना. आप फ्रंट फुट पे आके पुल कर रहे हो, आप across the line खेल रहे हो when the ball is angled to your off and middle stump. Look, I have two questions here. The first question मैंने टी टाइम पे भी रेज किया था. Chetan Sharma has blood on his hands. Chetan Sharma selection committee has blood on its hands. आपका टेस्ट क्रिकेट में ट्रांजिशन cannot start today. If you're bringing in the transition now, it was supposed to start in 2020, in 2021. What did Chetan Sharma's selection panel do? ठीक है, कोविड था, आपके हैंड्स वर टाइड डाउन, बट उसके बाद भी चेतन शर्मा बिकेम सेलेक्टर अगेन, हाथ पांव जोड़ के. तब क्या कर लिया उन्होंने? एंड द सेकंड क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज कोच राहुल द्रविड़ डूइंग? मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि शुभमन गिल का जो शुभमन गिल का जो नंबर 3 है, उनका एक्सपेरिमेंट अभी आप फिनिश कर दीजिए. नो, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट एट ऑल. But there has to be some change, some development, some growth. He was struggling in West Indies. He's struggling in South Africa. His short selection in West Indies was suspect. His short selection again in South Africa is suspect. Two different types of pitches. You have the greatest number 3 test batter from Indian cricket as the coach. What have you spoken to Shubman Gill? Where is the development? Where is the change in mindset? Are you telling me he was out playing his shots in the first innings, and then again in the second innings he comes out playing his shots? I am very worried about India's test cricket future. आपके पास bowler नहीं है, आपके पास batters नहीं है. Virat Kohli can only do so much. Rohit Sharma is still looking like he's shell shocked from the World Cup. Pre-match, I'm just going to sum this up. Pre-match, you were talking about winning a series in South Africa, winning this series in South Africa. 3 दिन में आप निपट गए, जिसमें से पहले 2 दिन there was bad light and rain.
Yes.
It's embarrassing beyond belief.
Yeah. But Srini, coming to the bowling bit, as Chetan bhai rightly mentioned, bowlers भी आपके पास नहीं है. मतलब क्या सोच के गए हो आप? वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट द बैटर्स की बैटर्स जो स्क्वाड में वो एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, तो बॉलर्स का भी सेम ही हाल है. एंड वी सॉ दैट प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा को जब समझ नहीं आया कि उनका हिट द डेक काम नहीं करने वाला, ही स्टार्टेड बॉलिंग योर फुल टॉसेस इन एन अटेम्प्ट टू बॉल यॉर्कर्स. आई मीन, वेयर आर वी हेडिंग?
See, okay, I'll like kind of, I'm not going to blame a Prasidh here, there's a reason why. I mean, Rahul Dravid, this is his second big tour overseas, and ironically, it is in the same country where he lost and came. He took over as a coach, he lost as a coach, and he had whatever these 2 years. अभी वो कह सकते हैं कि वो तो last minute extension हो गया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का, नहीं तो पता नहीं था कि as कोच वो एक्सटेंड होने वाले थे या नहीं थे, जो भी है. Point is, he had these 2 years to consider what. When he was in South Africa, when he came back from South Africa, he knew what was his arrangement going to be like. So what? He was only thinking till the end of the World Cup. The tour of South Africa was not going to be his responsibility. If it was his responsibility, what kind of a thought process was put in place in 21? For example, I don't know who, Chetan or Sahil, one of the two, said that it's all these years and we are still missing Mohammad Shami. And probably, I think I saw Chetan's tweet also. Wasn't it yours? You were mentioning Ishant Sharma.
Yeah.
I mean, so after all these years, you've gone back to thinking who you are missing rather than.
No. Srini, I mentioned Ishant कि when Ishant retired, you needed a replacement. India ने किसको मिस किया? You missed a workhorse bowler जिसके around Siraj और Bumrah bowling कर सकते.
Exactly.
But you can't bring in a Prasidh Krishna or a Shardul Thakur and एकदम से आप hope करोगे कि ये हो जाएगा. उसने 2 साल से develop करना था ना वो. That's what that was.
After having gone to South Africa, having lost, after
Where was the
2
plan?
years, your plan B to go to South Africa was with Prasidh Krishna and Shardul Thakur
and Mukesh Kumar.
And Mukesh Kumar. This is where this is how you had decided to kind of go about, and what are your debates? Your debates are all inconsequential debates before going into a test match. Whether KL Rahul is good enough to keep, while has he kind of come into his own as a test match wicketkeeper. All secondary elements at play here, whereas the primary elements at play are completely missing. Okay, you've decided to let go of a Cheteshwar Pujara. You've decided that it's kind of time has come to kind of blood in you youngsters. What I mean, as you said, probably India's greatest number three as your coach. What kind of conversations has he had with a Shubman Gill for the last 24 months? Because definitely, if he's had conversations, then Shubman Gill was wearing his, kind of noise cancellation, whatever, because he was definitely wasn't listening to it. वो क्या कर रहा है वहां जाके? He thinks, मतलब he is doing exactly the opposite of what Test cricket is all about. Test cricket is all about not playing every bloody ball, and you are out there playing every bloody ball. I mean, where is the rocket science to this? You just have to go. You look at Dean Elgar. You know,
Yeah.
हम वहां पे वो साउथ अफ्रीका में जाओ, वहां मीडिया नहीं लिखता है वहां, oh, Dean Elgar, the king of South Africa batting. Dean Elgar, hitman, always has done against beautifully against India. Nahi, he's just another guy at work. He is retiring after this series. Probably might get to captain at Cape Town if this Temba Bavuma doesn't come back. And they're saying hope so. If he does, it'll be a great, kind of goodbye to him. And today, what is their media talking about? Their media is talking about how, today when he was that partnership with Dizorzi, like how it was like kind of taking the responsible and blooding in that youngster, kind of helping him take those baby steps, controlling the narrative, controlling the innings, you know, and look at the way he faced that knock of his, in terms of knowing when he settled down, knowing when the conditions eased up, knowing when to open his arms. There is so much to learn from a guy who's not even in your realm of, so-called world's greatest batter in 50 over cricket, world's greatest batter in red ball cricket. Hum kya nashe mein hai hum? What are we smoking? So I'm not saying that this loss is like kind of, oh my god, like oh, what tatter. Yeah, although that should be the sentiment around. My point is, where are you going with this? Do you have a plan B? Like you will go to Cape Town, you will go to the second test match trying to make repairs for what went wrong in this test match. You go to South Africa later this year. You have an England team coming here after this, hungry, waiting to come back at us. You go to Australia later this year. You go to England next year. What exactly is your plan B, C, D? Where exactly is your next bowler coming from? You're not going to wave a magic wand and come out of there. Ravi Shastri, Bharat Arun, Virat Kohli, whoever it was, got lucky that Jasprit Bumrah in 2016-17 was available at the right time, thanks to a bloody completely different format. And you decided to take that risk, take that punt, and it worked beautifully. Obviously, you're not taking anything away from the quality of bowler that Bumrah has gone on to be, but sometimes things fall in place, and it did for them. And they built well on kind of putting a good structure in place, ensuring that those 4 to 5 years there was a kind of a machinery that was going to take care of what. And then what happened 2019 when Shubman Gill, 2019, right, first over of Australia, 1920 Shubman Gill.
18,
Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
19,
1920.
IPL when he
1920,
fused it,
1920.
yeah, in injury replacement बन के गया था.
Yeah.
What was the narrative कि ये पैदा तैयार कहाँ हुए हैं ये क्रिकेटर्स अंडर 19 लेवल पे, राइट?
हाँ.
तो हमारा जो कोच है वो 2021 में लेने से पहले, चार्ज लेने से पहले वो कहाँ था?
Under
वो
19.
इंडिया ही में ही था ना. तो अभी बिठाओ वीवीएस लक्ष्मण और राहुल द्रविड़ को माइक के सामने, बात करो भाई. तुमको बहुत शौक है ना क्रेडिट लेने का कि जूनियर टीम, जूनियर अंडर 19 लेवल पे, इंडिया ए लेवल पे बिल्डअप हो रहा था. जब इंडिया ने अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप जीता था पृथ्वी शॉ के अंडर में, तो होल नैरेटिव वाज अराउंड दिस, oh, Rahul Dravid doing wonders at NCA. Now I want to see where is that NCA batch coming from. The fact of the matter is that Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri at least put in place some kind of a plan where they thought the next 4 years or 5 years, this is how we have identified what kind of a talent pool we have. This is what we are going to do. Give me these players, give me this bowling coach, give me this fielding coach. I'm going to put in place a unit and I'm going to work around. Right? In the interim, what was the NCA doing, or what was an India or an under 19 coach doing? Because the result, whatever that coach was doing, the result of that is showing now. It is showing today. It is showing today in not in terms of the performance. Mind you, I'm not so worried about the performance. I'm worried about how exactly are you going to do anything different, in Cape Town or against England or later on as this time goes by. And that's why The opening line when I said when the show started is what worries me when I'm looking at the test series right now is not this match itself, but what's coming next.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Sahil, I have a comment here from Rohit Sharma after the game. He says, "We were not good enough to win, having put into bat. KL batted well to get us that score, but we didn't exploit the conditions with the ball. And then again, didn't show up today with the bat. If we have to win test matches, we have to come together collectively, and we didn't do that." I mean, ये तो आप खुद plan करोगे ना as a captain. I mean, you
ये
can
तो मैं
just
भी बोल ये तो मैं भी
yeah,
बोल सकता हूँ, अगर मैं कैप्टन हूँ मेरे को कैप्टन बना दोगे, इसमें आपने क्या नया बताया, ये तो हम सबको पता है। मतलब 400 रन खाने वाला बॉलिंग अटैक अगर आप लेकर गए थे तो वही गलती हो गया ना। मतलब
yeah,
लास्ट मैं अभी वही याद कर रहा था, आई वाज ट्राइंग टू सर्च द ईयर, देयर वाज वन पर्टिकुलर ईयर इयर्स बैक वेयर विराट कोहली फर्स्ट मेंशन्ड द नेम ऑफ प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा। इफ यू ऑल मस्ट बी अवेयर दैट उसने बोला था
yeah,
कि देयर इज दिस बॉलर कमिंग, लैंकी बॉलर, टॉल बॉलर। मैं अभी स्टैट्स चेक करा, प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा 16 या 17 फर्स्ट क्लास गेम्स खेला है अभी तक अपने करियर के अंदर। तो अगर आपने उसको तब आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया था, एक रणजी सीजन के अंदर 7 गेम होते हैं, अगर वो 16-17 गेम खेला है मतलब ही हैजंट हैड टेस्ट ऑफ टेस्ट क्रिकेट और फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट येट। टेस्ट क्रिकेट तो था ही नहीं क्योंकि डेब्यू अभी हुआ है। मुकेश कुमार आपने 40 फर्स्ट क्लास गेम खेला हुआ है, 21 का एवरेज है। आवेश खान 40 फर्स्ट क्लास गेम खेला हुआ है, 22 का बॉलिंग एवरेज है। एमपी के ट्रैक पे वो विकेट ले रहे हैं और आप मेरे को बोल रहे हो कि प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा को आपको रश करना था क्योंकि वो लंबा है, 6'2" है, ऊंची कद काटी का है, सेंचुरियन की कंडीशंस असिस्ट करती है। अंडरस्टूड, अग्रीड, बट थोड़ा तो माइंड लगाओ ना टीम पिक करने में। जब विराट कोहली had identified Prasidh Krishna years back, where was he all these years? Was anyone keeping a tab on him, his fitness, his workload? Because he becomes available during the IPL, right?
yeah,
And Abhi, the drama is going to unfold in January, boss. When you would expect your Pacers to be playing the Ranji Trophy and prepping for England series, they'll be playing that useless T20 series against Afghanistan. वहां पे आप आवेश खान, अर्शदीप सबको डाल दोगे, बट आप बिगर पिक्चर इग्नोर कर दोगे। वहां पे उनकी जरूरत नहीं है। आप इंडिया सी टीम भी खिला सकते हो वर्सेस अफगानिस्तान, नो वन विल केयर अबाउट इट बिकॉज आईपीएल का जो 14 गेम का सैंपल साइज होगा दैट विल बी टेकन इनटू अकाउंट फॉर योर T20 वर्ल्ड कप सिलेक्शन एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स। इन 3 मैचेस के बेसिस पे तो आप T20 स्क्वाड उठाने नहीं वाले ना। सो मेक अ प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा, मेक अ अर्शदीप सिंह, मेक अ नवदीप सैनी प्ले रणजी ट्रॉफी। एटलीस्ट 4 गेम तो खिलाओ, 3 गेम तो खिलाओ इंग्लैंड सीरीज से पहले। जब उनको आप गेम ही नहीं खिलाओगे, अभी ईशांत शर्मा वाज बॉलिंग टुडे यार, आई सॉ हिम बॉलिंग टुडे एट कोटला, ही इज
yeah,
स्टिल प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर अ रणजी ट्रॉफी, ही इज गोइंग टू प्ले 4 होम गेम्स। देयर इज नो, मतलब कोई रॉक, जो चेतन बोला कि वर्कहॉर्स चाहिए था, वो ईशांत शर्मा डिड नॉट बिकम अ वर्कहॉर्स ओवरनाइट। ही हैज बीन bowling long spells in the domestic circuit, he has been doing that whenever he's away from national duty, whenever he was away from national duty, the moment he was dropped from the white ball setup, वो रणजी खेलता रहा, स्मैट खेलता रहा, विजय हजारे ट्रॉफी खेलता रहा। नवदीप सैनी 2 मैच में बॉल डालता है, तीसरे मैच में हैमस्ट्रिंग पकड़ लेता है। मतलब आप ये कहना चाह रहे हो कि जो जो बॉलर आपने एक पिक किया था जो 150 फेंकता है, वो आपका 4 साल से नेट बॉलर बन के रह गया है, जो सिर्फ तब खेला था जब सारी जनता को इंजरीज हो गई थी ऑस्ट्रेलिया टूर के अंदर। So there's clearly something wrong, right? I was reading that Ravi Shastri interview which he gave to the Guardian in 2021. You know, he spoke about Jasprit Bumrah, picking Jasprit Bumrah. So he clearly said, when he took over as coach, the first thing which he kind of realized, and he spoke with Bharat Arun and Virat Kohli both, that if we need to win test matches abroad, we need to take 20 wickets, and most of those wickets need to come from fast bowlers. So where are my fast bowlers? That is how they singled out Jasprit Bumrah. We need someone who gives a certain
true,
X factor kind of edge when you are touring overseas. They got lucky, yes. Jasprit Bumrah उस टाइम पे प्राइम फिटनेस एकदम रिदम के अंदर था, everything was happening right for him, but there was a method in place, there was a plan in place. तभी आपने उमेश को गेम्स खेलते हुए देखा, नवदीप सैनी को साइड के साथ ट्रैवल करते हुए देखा, बट अभी आप वो वाला विजन नहीं देख रहे हो ना, क्योंकि अभी इंग्लैंड आ जाएगी तो आपने वो 3 स्पिनर उतार देने हैं खुरपा ट्रैक के ऊपर, वहां पे तो आपके मीडियम पेसर मिला के 10 ओवर फेंकने वाले हैं। सो उस सेंस के अंदर मतलब देयर समथिंग सीरियसली रॉन्ग, एंड ये टेस्ट साइकिल सबके पत्ते खोल देगी, मतलब क्लियरली पत्ते, और कप्तानी के तो पत्ते खुलने वाले हैं। मतलब मैं तो डे 1 से बोल रहा हूँ, कप्तानी, आप व्हाइट बॉल कप्तानी देख के हम बहुत कैरिड अवे हो जाते हैं। व्हाइट बॉल कैप्टेंसी इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट टू रेड बॉल कैप्टेंसी। इवन व्हेन थिंग्स डोंट हैपन, यू नीड टू मेक थिंग्स हैपन इन रेड बॉल, और रेड बॉल के अंदर वो नहीं दिखा, मतलब मेरे को थॉट ही नहीं दिखा जब हम 400 रन खाकर बैठे हुए थे। मैं हर ओवर के बाद वेट कर रहा था शायद कोई फील्ड प्लेसमेंट में डिफरेंस होगा, मतलब कितना हमने शॉर्ट लेग यूज करा, कितना हमने शॉर्ट बॉल का यूज करा। मतलब सिराज बाउंसर मार रहा था जो केएल राहुल भी 2 फीट ऊपर कूद के पकड़ रहा था। तो मतलब देयर वाज नो थॉट, राइट, देयर वाज नो प्लान। सो व्हाट वाज मिस्टर पारस मामरे डूइंग व्हेन वी गिव देम क्रेडिट फॉर ऑल दीज थिंग्स? मतलब अगर bowlers को नहीं समझ आ रहा है, जो कोच बाहर बैठ के देख रहे हैं. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Chetan.
want to say something, Chetan?
Yeah, I think, and I want Srini's opinion on this. I think, Srini, it's time that we go back to a foreign coaching panel, where we bring in the foreign coaches and you bring in the bowling coach and batting coach has to be a foreign coach because, look, I think we need people to call out bullshit.
Totally.
We need
Absolutely.
people to call out bullshit. Or even the young player profiles that are coming up, if Shubman Gill bats like that, there's a foreign coach might just say, you know what, cut this out. What are you trying to do? So I think there was a period of time when we had such huge profile players, senior players, जिनको foreign coach की शायद जरूरत नहीं थी. Maybe they would not be able to work too well with a foreign coach. But I think for the benefit of Indian cricket, especially in test format, we need a foreign coach, somebody like a Tom Moody or Andy Flower or a Gary Kirsten, even Mike Hessen, who's probably not coached at that level. But what I'm trying to say is we need a foreign coach here to guide these youngsters and tell them, ki, boss, cut this shit out.
Not just
That's just my
not just in one format.
No,
Not
see,
just
I
one format.
have no. I think
Indian
after
coaches-
what I saw, no. I'll just say this: that after what I saw, and I covered the T20 World Cup in Australia. After what I saw there, I have firmly believed that we need a separate coach for T20.
100%.
Since then,
100%.
so maybe for Test and ODIs we can have one coach, or maybe we have a white ball coach for ODIs and T20s. I don't know, but I don't think we do need a separate coach for T20 cricket. That's my
100%.
point. Yeah.
100%.
So if you want, you can have the foreign coach doing both tests and ODIs. That maybe. आप अगर राहुल द्रविड़ के बाद वीवीएस लक्ष्मण को पकड़ा दोगे, यहाँ पे कोचिंग कुछ चेंज नहीं होने वाला है.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this in another way.
Sure.
When Duncan Fletcher left India as coach, right?
Yeah.
We literally were like kind of were figuring out what's going to be our next move, right? I mean, we were coming from this Gary Kirsten high, and Gary Kirsten had suggested Fletcher's name, and I don't think there was a plan B in place. So when Fletcher had left abruptly, no wonder, like people saw metal in getting Ravi on board. Players also knew Ravi, so and Ravi was like willing to make the time out and everything. So sometimes what happens is things just kind of fall in place, which is what happened with Ravi. It just was very timely that the request went, he agreed, it fell in place. And then what happened in 2017 was again an extension of what Team India or what the senior players in the Indian team had experience with Ravi in the interim, which gave them the confidence that no, we can continue for a longer stint with Ravi, right? But then something like that doesn't really happen all the time. So, and that's where what you're saying is true. And there's a one small extended thought to that. You're saying foreign coach. I'm saying in these 10 years, Chetan, whatever, 8-9 years, have we come across an Indian name? Let's forget foreign coach. We'll come back to that. Have we come across an Indian name that gives us the confidence to say, "Yaar, this guy coaching belongs at a global level. He's the guy setting a global benchmark." Let's kind of agree here that just between the
Precisely.
four of us, we
Precisely.
can't figure out a single name.
And-
Once again, I'll just complete this thought. Look at IPL. It's a classic space to look at. How many Indian coaches are you looking at in IPL? And how many Indian coaches who are actually making a mark? It's a very telling statement of what is happening, from a coaching apparatus around the world. And again, that's a very separate debate. What kind of a white elephant NCA's coaching patterns or coaching ideology has been over the years. So, but that'll require another show altogether. What I'm trying to get at is very valid thing. Kind of what Chetan is saying. Foreign coach. I'm saying sit down and at least deliberate on this. At least sit down. Who is there? Who is there to sit down? I'm not going to expect some BCCI officials to kind of put mind to matter here. No, it is not their cup of tea. Although they are armed with the responsibility, they have the powers to do it. I don't expect them to do the right thing because they are not from a cricketing background. So somewhere somebody here, this Rahul Dravid or a Ravi Shastri or an Anil Kumble or a VVS Lakshman, who's tend to like, a VVS Lakshman may be ready to become the next coach of India if he's offered the job. Is VVS Lakshman willing to come forward and say, agree or disagree whether he's capable of picking the job? Are we as an ecosystem, where is Sachin Tendulkar today? Here is where you need a Sachin Tendulkar जो 10 साल पहले 15 साल पहले मीडिया को बोल गए थे ना कि पानी सर से ऊपर चला जा रहा है. That's why Greg Chappell lost his job. The same Sachin Tendulkar has to step forward today, not in public, don't have to speak to the media about it, but then you have to step forward. A Tendulkar and a Dravid and a VVS Lakshman, these are the kind of people who need to step forward, go out to this BCCI, tell them what is the need of the hour, and in that lies the answer. Because if we are expecting we need a foreign coach, God bless this BCCI administration, they are not going to think out of the box, because for them they need to look good, and the only way they can look good is if they pick. See, 2021, why was Rahul Dravid picked? कोई गाली नहीं देगा यार. मैं राहुल द्रविड़ को लेके आऊंगा कोच सामने वाला तो ये बोलेगा अरे कितना बड़ा नाम लेके आया. Nobody is going to give me गाली. राहुल द्रविड़ अरे इंडिया का नंबर 3 बैट्समैन, इंडिया का बेस्ट टेस्ट बैट्समैन को उठा के टेस्ट का कोच बना दिया. अब तो कुछ गलत हो ही नहीं सकता इंडिया के साथ, राइट? देन यू हैव टू लूज पैथेटिकली टू अंडरस्टैंड कि नहीं बॉस ऐसा नहीं चलता है. मैंने हमेशा कहा है, just because you are a great sports person, you don't become a great administrator. I said that in the case of Saurav Ganguly. Just because you are a great cricketer, you don't become a great coach. I am saying that in the case of Rahul Dravid. Why is Australia not making Ricky Ponting their ODI coach? वो तो सीधा साधा उनका टेम्पलेट है. वो तो हर वर्ल्ड कप और हर वाइट बॉल टूर्नामेंट उनको ही जीतना चाहिए. बस रिकी पॉन्टिंग को आपको कोच बनाना है. टेस्ट कोच आप उठा के स्टीव वॉ को क्यों नहीं बना देते हो? उसने तो हर कुछ जीता है, हर चीज तो जीता है ना वो. तो आप उसको उठा के टेस्ट कैप्टन बना दो, कोच बना दो. श्रीलंका शुड डू द सेम. अरविंदर डिसिल्वा को ले आओ या अर्जुना रणतुंगा को ले आओ, बना दो टेस्ट का कोच. क्योंकि ये लोग तो बड़ा रन मारे हैं जाके. हमने राहुल द्रविड़ को बना दिया क्यों? क्योंकि वो इतने रन मार के आया है टेस्ट क्रिकेट में. Point is,
this is the point, Srini. This is
what happens. I'll just complete this last line. This is what happens when your priority is to play to the galleries. And what you are essentially doing here is trying to play to the galleries and then hoping against hope when things fall in place. There is zero planning. And that's a fact.
Yeah, Chetan.
See, I'll just say to this, कि जब Rahul Dravid started doing the under-19 and India A and NCA, all of that, that was the hope that he is going to kick on and become that Indian coach जो हमने नहीं देखा है. जैसे श्रीनी कह रहे हैं ना कि name one Indian coach who hasn't really gone on and done that and made a name for himself. संजय बांगर tried, वो उस लेवल पे नहीं पहुंच पाए. अनिल कुंबले, the less said the better. The kind of backroom stuff that happened really. Ravi Shastri was the one name, but he obviously did not typically start off as coach. He was the director of cricket, and then from there, because it was a scenario where you needed the senior players, who you needed somebody to listen to them and then give his ideas and not impose himself there. So those were different situations, but with what Srini has said, behind the scenes, it was anticipated or it was hoped that somebody like a Rahul Dravid would just come on and kick on as coach. But I'm sorry to say that hasn't happened. अगर आप उठा के देख लो उनका पिछले 3-3.5 साल का या 3 साल का, this is the second time he's come to South Africa and he's losing like this. And the last time he had actually a great chance to win the series, which was thrown away. We had the Virat Kohli ruckus where Virat Kohli gave away the captaincy, and he did not come out to the forefront, did not exhibit leadership in that situation, did not put his foot down, whether in that whole scenario, not even once. T20 World Cup में हम लोग semi-final पहुंच गए. That is not a badge of honor. हम लोगों को semi-final, India should not have reached the semi-final. It was thanks to Virat Kohli's miraculous knock against Pakistan that we reached the semi-final. Otherwise, India had no business of being anywhere. And we should thank rain, in fact, against Bangladesh in Adelaide. More than Virat Kohli's 92, it was rain against Bangladesh. जिसकी वजह से हम semi-final पहुंचे. India had no business of getting to the semi-final. And again, 10-0 in the ODI World Cup, it's again no badge of honor. You don't get trophies for 10-0. You get trophies for winning the World Cup, जहां आपने पिच की ऐसी तैसी फेर दी फाइनल में. So obviously
Also,
Rahul Dravid has come out as a failure as coach. Let's be honest. Let's say that. इससे हमारा रिस्पेक्ट उनके लिए एज अ बैटर कम नहीं हो जाएगा. He will always remain the greatest test number 3 batter for India. But as a coach, you have to segregate. That is the big problem. Indian cricket, Indian media, Indian fans, they are not able to segregate Rahul Dravid, the batter, from Rahul Dravid, the coach.
and also
And
Chetan,
I think it's high time that we start doing that, to be very honest.
there's one thing, okay, we talk about India A and we talk about under 19, specifically under 19. ठीक है, एक फाइनल, एक रनर्स अप और एक वर्ल्ड कप. आप अंडर 19 के लड़कों को सिखा रहे थे. यहाँ सीखे सिखाए लड़के हैं और यहाँ है स्टारडम. तो प्रॉब्ली आप वो चीज इंट्रोड्यूस ही नहीं कर पा रहे ना जो आपका थॉट प्रोसेस है. And okay, so I have a comment here from Rohit Sharma जो उन्होंने मैच के बाद कहा है. Silent, this has been irritating me like anything for the past 10 minutes. Guys have come here before. We know what to expect, and everyone has their own plan. You are playing Test cricket, and you have own plan. Our batters were challenged, and we didn't adapt well. This is a boundary scoring ground. We saw them score many, but we need to understand the opposition and their strengths as well. We didn't bat well.
No. You just didn't see them scoring many boundaries. You gave them deliveries to score boundaries.
Exactly.
Just address the bigger issue here. 400 रन जो डीन एल्गर जनरली अप्रोच करता है, इतना बाउंड्री नहीं आता उसके इनिंग्स के अंदर. इज योर ग्रिटी ओल्ड फैशन टेस्ट बैटर, बॉक्स क्रिकेट प्रेफर करता है.
He scored those boundaries because you bowled like shit.
That's what. You gave him
By the way,
freebies.
when did scoring boundaries even become a talking point, or has to become a talking point?
This was Rohit
Why
Sharma.
do you even have to mention
No, wait. नहीं,
listen.
listen.
खड़ा नहीं रहा जा रहा, आप चौकों की बात कर रहे हो.
In the post lunch session, यार, जब lunch session हुआ है, मैंने क्या बताया है आपको? Look at अनिमेश थे शायद हमारे साथ. आप शार्दुल ठाकुर का पिच मैप उठा के देखो against Dean Elgar.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. He has all across. He's bowling in 5
What is
channels.
Shardul Thakur doing in this team?
I'm just giving an example. तो अगर यार आप
समझ नहीं पा रहा हूं मैं.
यहाँ पे हमारे इंडियन कमेंटेटर कह रहे हैं इट्स दैट मैन अगेन जब उन्होंने ग्लव किया. बॉस, इट्स दैट मैन अगेन आफ्टर बीइंग स्पैंक्ड फॉर 5 and over in 18
Left, right,
overs.
center.
10 over, yes.
Left,
क्यों
right,
है वो
18
स्क्वाड
overs.
में? वो
So
किसी
my
भी स्क्वाड
point
में
is-
क्यों है मेरी समझ में नहीं आता है.
नहीं वो चलो छोड़ो. माय पॉइंट इज इवन इफ ही इज देयर, अरे एक लाइन तो बॉलिंग कर लेना भाई. एक लाइन बॉलिंग कर ले. हाउ टफ इज इट टू पिक वन लाइन एंड बॉल इट?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm-
he bowled worse than Prasidh Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
he was-
all over the place. तो अगर डीन एल्गर हो, चाहे रबाडा हो, चाहे कोई भी हो यार, चाहे ट्रेंट बोल्ट हो,
मार्को यंसन
अगर
को
आप बाउंड्री बॉल
ने धागा
दोगे,
खोल दिया यार. एल्गार
अगर
तो चलो
बाउंड्री
accomplished
बॉल
batter.
अगर बाउंड्री बॉल
Hero-
दोगे तो हर बैट्समैन बाउंड्री
Yeah.
लेगा.
Yeah.
From hoping that Dean Elgar's wicket will come to feeling bad when he didn't get his double century, my
Yeah.
whole sentiment in this test match changed when I was watching him bat. एक टाइम पे लगा यार कब आउट होगा ये, और एक टाइम पे अरे यार 200 बना ले, तू इतना प्यारा खेला है तो तेरे 200 बनते हैं.
No, he said.
मेरे को सौम्या सेकंड न्यू बॉल जब ड्यू था, मोहम्मद सिराज वाज बॉलिंग 2 डिलीवरीज. पहला बाउंसर डाला और मुस्कुरा गया, पता नहीं क्यों मुस्कुराया था, या तो बॉडी खोल रहा था. तीसरा या चौथा बॉल उसको दिया, भाई ने लेग स्टंप के ऊपर लेग बाय से चौका कंसीड करा, और मैं अपना सर ऐसे ही पकड़ लिया. आई वाज सिटिंग एंड वाचिंग द गेम विद माय ब्रदर. आई सेड नया बॉल तो हम भी घर पे जब नीचे खेलते हैं, नया बॉल कोशिश करते हैं कि यार बैट पे चौथा स्टंप, पांचवा स्टंप, मतलब आप डाउन द लेग साइड लेग बाय के चौके खा रहे हो जब आप गरम हो, पूरा आपकी फेटी लग चुकी है पूरा दिन. मतलब इतना कंट्रोल नहीं है. मतलब देयर वाज नो एंड आई डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड. ये जो आप अभी बॉलिंग स्कोर कार्ड अगर प्रोड्यूसर हमारा अगर पुल आउट कर सके, उसके अंदर आप देखो द वर्कलोड इज सो इक्वली एंड ब्यूटीफुली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. देयर वर नो लॉन्ग स्पेल्स. 5 ओवर के बाद कप्तान बॉलर को रेस्ट दे देता था, पता नहीं जैसे कौन सी फतेह पाके आ गए, वो 3 विकेट स्पेल लेकर आ गए. 5 ओवर से लंबे स्पेल्स नहीं चले. और मुझे अभी तक इस मिस्ट्री का आइडिया, ये देखो 19 18 22 सो इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. मतलब आपको पता ही नहीं चल रहा है यहाँ पर हु हैड अ बैड डे, हु हैड अ गुड डे, बिकॉज एवरीवन बोल्ड इक्वल नंबर ऑफ बॉल्स. थोड़ा तो डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे ना.
अच्छा, एक चीज आप नोटिस कीजिए. हम शार्दुल और प्रसिद्ध के बारे में कर रहे हैं. लुक एट मोहम्मद सिराज एट 4 and over.
Yeah, no maiden in 22 overs when you're bowling with the new ball, both the new balls. He bowled with both the new balls.
Or Siraj is getting carried away a lot. He is exactly like Arshdeep Singh is right now कि उनकी जो डेवलपमेंट ट्रैजेक्टरी है ना वो अटक गई है.
Yeah.
कि उनको बहुत कुछ मिल गया है इस टाइम पे. Lot of people have praised him. He's now a permanent fixture across formats. So suddenly the development has stopped, which raises question marks about his mentality.
Chetan, hand on your heart. Did he have a good World Cup or not? Mohammad Siraj.
No, he did not.
Mohammad Siraj. He had a very ordinary World Cup as per me.
He had a very ordinary World Cup. If Hardik Pandya was available, Pandya was available, Siraj would not have finished the World Cup.
Yeah.
They would have brought in Shami. They would have brought in Shami at some point, and the way Shami was bowling, it would have been Bumrah, Shami, and Hardik Pandya in the final. There was no way Siraj would have finished the World Cup. The only reason, यार आप देख लो ना फाइनल में बॉलिंग ही नहीं दी रोहित ने उसे.
पांचवा बॉलर आया था वो.
25 ओवर में जीत जाती ऑस्ट्रेलिया अगर उसे बॉलिंग देते तो.
चलिए वर्ल्ड कप के बाद एक और
वर्ल्ड कप की बात नहीं करो यार.
अभी हम शार्दुल लास्ट
वर्ल्ड कप की बात नहीं करो. अभी ये एक और जख्म मिल गया है हमें.
शार्दुल द बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर की इतनी बात करते हैं और हार्दिक को हम बैटिंग ऑलराउंडर की बात करते हैं ना. हार्दिक पांड्या फिट हो गया जिस दिन उसके हाथ में लाल चेरी आ गया ना, वो शार्दुल ठाकुर को पानी पिलवाएगा.
नहीं, he's not
the way he bowls. No, I know he's not.
Let's not mix formats here. Let's not mix formats.
I'm saying the kind of bowler he was for us in Test cricket.
No. In 2018, I was in South Africa. Hardik Pandya didn't do too much as an all-rounder on that tour as well.
But I think he had a 90 or something or what, no?
Yeah, the match was already gone. The match was already gone. He as a bowler, he didn't do too much on that tour. So, look, he turned away from Test cricket a long time ago. Let's not go in that direction.
Yeah, Shri.
2018 when we went there, we were like kind of, we were at the beginning of a phase where we really didn't know what to expect. So when that Cape Town test happened and we actually were in the game, second spell of Bumrah ka, we actually were taken aback for presently and like, wow, this looks like. Yeah. So there were new things happening and we were excited.
I was screaming on commentary. Mera producer कह रहा था चुप कर जा, मत सीखो. I was so excited on commentary day one.
Exactly.
That was our best shot to win a test series. Mr. Virat Kohli, someday I hope he will answer why he screwed it up by dropping Ajinkya Rahane. If Rahane had played that entire test series, we would have won that test series. That was the
I don't think it was Virat's decision.
Come on, Srini. Let's not get started.
I think the suggestion came from Ravi. If I'm not mistaken, to play Rohit ahead of Ajinkya, that suggestion came from Ravi.
Okay, it's an easy way to deflect. Let's just say that.
No, not deflecting, because he's admitted saying that it was my call.
Okay,
he's
fine.
But it was the wrong call and everybody went to it.
It was the wrong call.
The point is, why it was such a wrong decision was immediately reflecting in the third test. Na? Wanderers mein to dikh gaya tha.
Wanderers mein on that wicket, that guy and scored a half century. Imagine if Rahane had played that.
But then the flip side is also that knowing Ajinkya, the way he was angry for having been dropped in the first two test matches, that really irked him and kind of made him
Centurion के nets पे shameless plug, you guys can go and Google my piece on Rahane, being Rahane. It is on Scroll. मैंने लिखा था, he was standing alone a day before the Centurion test match. दूर खड़ा था बंदा, यहाँ पे टीम है और यहाँ दूर खड़ा हुआ है. And I clicked the picture and he saw, I've clicked the picture, then he moved and then sat over there. But he did not pick up the ball. He did not pick up the bat in that pre-match practice session. He was furious. He was absolutely furious and banta hai yaar. Absolutely banta hai. He deserved to play that series. He absolutely deserved to play.
चलिए वो सीरीज के बाद पुरानी हो गई.
That was our chance to win in South Africa. अब आप कुछ कर लो, हम नहीं जीत पाएंगे South Africa में.
वही बोल रहा हूँ कि एक और जख्म लगा.
अब तो 2-0 भाई, अब 3 दिन में खत्म करो यार. हमें रणजी ट्रॉफी पे
2-0 is better ना. नहीं साहिल 1-1 ना हो. श्रीनी and साहिल 1-1 तो मैं चाहता ही नहीं. मैं तो चाहता हूँ अब 2-0 हो. Because
हाँ.
Ajit Agarkar, I'm trusting Ajit Agarkar ki maybe something will happen before Australia tour and England tour. Maybe. Otherwise, यार जैसे तुमने कहा
No,
है
if
आगे
you could
खुलने वाले हैं
elaborate,
हमारे.
something could happen, as in you are expecting a change in guard somewhere or what?
No, as in
ऐसे suspense
maybe
मत
he
छोड़ो.
will, because we still have a year to go to Australia.
Yeah.
1.5 year to go to England. We have 2 Ranji seasons coming up. Maybe he will bring in some sort of stability, some sort of proper selection. India A tours are happening.
At least
Some
with
sort of
Ajit,
thinking. Some
at least
sort
with
of
Ajit you
thinking.
can expect.
Huh?
At least with Ajit you can expect that he has the
Exactly.
ability.
With Chetan Sharma, मैंने पहले ही शो में कह दिया था. Madan Lal was heading the CAC. Chetan Sharma applied. I was like हो गया.
वो तो DDCA में ही हो गया था भाई. वो सिलेक्शन DDCA में हो गया था.
हाँ, but at least
BCCI हेडक्वार्टर बात पहुंची भी नहीं थी.
But at least अजीत अगरकर के से थोड़ा hope है मुझे. So I am hoping from some sort of sanity. But this is embarrassing. This was embarrassing.
Chaliye, it has been an embarrassing defeat for us in this game. इसके बारे में और बात करेंगे. अभी के लिए सेशन को यहीं एंड करते हैं क्योंकि बहुत frustrated हैं हम लोग as Indian cricket fans, and we just hope that something different happens in the second.
दवाई लेनी पड़ेगी जाके अब.
Thank you so much for joining me in this session. Thank you guys. Bye.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.